Hi! I hope that by listening to my podcasts, you gradually begin to overcome the stage of metamorphosis and, at least, become more effective. Actually, I think it's an art form. You can complete the entire set of tasks in 2 hours, or you can stretch it over a day. And I don't think it's cool at all. So, we have an analysis of book number 14, 2 Awesome Hours. How to create conditions for maximum effective work. I have 7 points for you, 7 important points. So listen carefully, and I will focus on some points more often. Focus on them and say them so that this thought is simply imprinted in your brain. So, point 1. Appreciate every turning point for making a decision. The moment of choice. What should I do now? This is a simple statement, but let's go deeper. What does the moment of choice mean? If you are the same as me, and I hope you are the same as me, you always set goals for the day. And we unconsciously perform most tasks automatically. It's like driving a car. If you are far from a beginner, then you log in really automatically. You automatically look in the rearview mirror, in the side mirrors, turn the steering wheel, press the brake and throttle. Everything happens automatically. It's the same with work. If there are quite a lot of creative variations in your work, then you work automatically, and the moment of productivity comes at the moment when you decide which task to perform next. It's like you're coming out of a coma and you need to stop and think about what to do next. I just noticed that. It works when I fill out the task list. I kind of go into a trance. I also started listening to Deep House, and it really feels a lot like a zombie in the truest sense of the word. I'm just doing my job. And then, when I do that, I stop and think, now I have 97% productivity, and while it's so high, I'll do something else. This approach allows for efficient use of resources. Point 2. Self-control drains energy as long as self-control remains self-control, including internal dialogue. What does it mean? This means that in our lives, if you lead a conscious lifestyle, then you limit yourself in some way. It doesn't matter if it's alcohol, smoking, or inappropriate pastime, such as going to the club every Friday, or even if you limit yourself to sweets. In any case, it doesn't matter what restrictions everyone has. And the moment you use your self-control, you actually deplete your energy level. Think about it. Here's an example for you. Imagine that you want to get rid of excess weight by the summer. You go to the refrigerator. There you see 2 options for your solution. First, you tell yourself, no, I'm not going to eat sweets because I gained weight anyway. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. You tell yourself these stupid and banal thoughts, that you don't need it, then you close the refrigerator, but in fact you are already exhausted emotionally and mentally. Another option. If you initially come to terms with yourself and explain to your consciousness that you don't need sweets at all, well, just a dialogue in the format of meditation or something else, if you reach yourself on a deeper level, it will be cool. Personally, by the way, I don't eat sweets at all. It's just nonsense, and it's easy for me because I turn to myself. That is, I told myself I just don't need it. I even lose my temper when I go into a hookah bar. Some of my friends still smoke hookah, but I don't have the self-control. I don't stop myself. I don't grab the hand that reaches for the hookah. I just say, ugh, I don't want to. That's how it works. So get rid of self-control. It's a very primitive way to stop yourself. Internal dialogue, come to an agreement with yourself and decide that you don't need it. It's very easy if you decide to take the time. Point 3. Making a decision leads to mental overwork, which weakens our ability to act in the best possible way. What does it mean to make a decision? In general, decision-making, regardless of complexity, is a constant phenomenon in our lives. My mom often asked me what to cook. This or that or that. I don't really care what to have for breakfast, what to have for lunch, or where to go. And you need to do the same. You need to get rid of these solutions, which are essentially useless. That's why my wardrobe now consists of 3 colors. That is, things that mostly fit together. I mean, I open my locker and I see that. Well, if I wear these shorts, then this t-shirt will definitely fit me. I don't have to think about it, come up with something in my head. No. For me, decision-making happens automatically, meaning there is no decision-making as such. Point 4. Here are some useful tips. Quickly switch between tasks, establish connections to establish contact, recognize mistakes and correct them, plan and coordinate future cases. Look, there are 4 points in the 4th paragraph. What does this mean? One more time. Quick switching between tasks is when, for example, you do something, then your Facebook friends have written to you, an alert in a messenger, and so on. That is, as soon as you lose concentration, you reply to the message, then open the mail, and then start working again. It's like standing in traffic on the road with a manual transmission that you have to turn on, and it's just terrible. It's harmful to both the car and you. Therefore, switching between ideas, grabbing one or the other is exhausting. Making contact helps to reconnect, and it's not just for introverts. Making contact is primarily about self-presentation, whether we like it or not. That is, if we plan to impress a person, we want to appear better than we really are, in order to gain some benefit later. You're not going to come to an investor's presentation and pick your nose. No, we smile there, we act openly there, and it's exhausting. Therefore, if you have a lot of contacts, try to divide them into those that are necessary and those that do not need to be completed at all. What does error recognition and correction mean? In general, adjustment is a terribly tedious task, so try to adhere to the rules of parenting. You don't have to be an idealist and do everything 100%, do it 80%. Over time, quantity will grow into quality. You don't have to be a bore. Just shorten it, refine it a bit. It is clear that there are exceptions, and if you are artists and want to become a great artist, then yes, please. But if your goal is still to achieve a global goal, then this global goal is broken down into a very large number of small sub-goals. And if you perform each sub-goal to the point of exhaustion at 100%, then most likely you will burn out. It's even unlikely, but it's 100% true, because there's no result, and there won't be because the goal hasn't been achieved. It's very exhausting. Well, planning and coordination of future affairs. I'm not good at strategy. For example, I work from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., and there comes a moment when I've already completed all the tasks, and I'm sitting and thinking, what should I do next? That's why, for example, I need to develop a strategy skill. I recommend you do the same. Think about it very emotionally. But what the hell should I do then, you know? Point 5. If you are overtired, anything happens, you are very tired. Breathe slowly and deeply with your stomach. Laugh at something. A good mood will help you recover from mental overwork. Because I'm working in parts. 50 minutes of work, 15 minutes of rest. I dilute my leisure time with various motivating and useful videos. And if it seems to you that something is not going well with you, turn on something positive with smart and correct humor, and it will cheer you up. Remember this. Breathe deeply. Well, if you haven't meditated yet, then what are you waiting for? Meditate. Point 6. Physical exercise improves attention and brain processes responsible for activating and exercising self-control. By the way, the trick of this book is that throughout the book, these points are scientifically grounded. That is, not just, well, it seems to me that I need to exercise. No. That is, a study was conducted there. Here is one group that is engaged in physical exercise. Here is another group that is engaged in this. Therefore, I suggest that between breaks, you can do push-ups, squats, pick up the cat and squat as you please. For example, during the day I go outside, pull myself up, stand on the grass, and always climb stairs, and I recommend that you do the same. I'm not going to delve into the physiology of how physical activity accelerates blood flow through the body, but it will definitely give you strength. Point 7. Eat smaller portions, drink plenty of water, and drink less coffee. Again, by the way, this is a scientific fact. If you plan to cheer up quickly and cannot live without coffee, then a large portion of coffee in 30 minutes can play a cruel joke. You will start to get nervous. You will tremble. Those who drink coffee often notice that their fingers are twitching and their vestibular apparatus is twitching a little. Here, if you want to straighten up, drink a small portion. The same thing. I hope there are a few people who still drink energy drinks, but it's better to drink half if you can't without them than a whole serving. Therefore, more water, less coffee. I hope it was helpful. Bye-bye.